Have you ever wondered why some men with average jobs, simple lifestyles, and nothing flashy about them still seem to have women completely captivated? While others, even with money, struggle to get her attention? What is it that women secretly love more than money? Even though society tells us wealth is the ultimate key, stay with me because in this video, we're going to dive into 6 things women secretly crave more than material riches, and we're going to do it through the timeless lens of Stoic philosophy, especially Marcus Aurelius. What I'll share with you isn't just surface level dating advice, it's wisdom that can change the way you approach women, relationships, and even yourself. But before we get into it, make sure you hit that subscribe button, give this video a like, and watch until the very end, because what we're about to uncover could completely transform your love life. Building context before the lessons. Marcus Aurelius once said, "Very little is needed to make a happy life. It is all within yourself, in your way of thinking." This is exactly where most men get it wrong. They think women want the external, money, cars, expensive gifts. And yes, those things might catch her attention for a moment. But attention is not the same as attraction. Attention fades. True attraction, the kind that pulls her in on a deeper level, comes from within. Think about it. History is filled with powerful men who had empires, riches, armies, and yet they were betrayed, abandoned, or unloved. And on the other hand, there were men of wisdom, calmness, and depth who had no need to buy affection because women felt drawn to their essence. So what are these secret things women love more than money? Let's go step by step. 1. Emotional strength. Do you remember the first time you truly fell in love? Think about it for a moment. Maybe it was when you were younger, maybe it was more recent. Can you recall how powerful that feeling was? The way her smile made you forget about the whole world? The way you wanted to protect her, impress her, maybe even sacrifice for her? Now here's the real question. Did you ever notice how your emotions shifted in that relationship? How sometimes the smallest thing she said could light you up or completely destroy your mood? One moment you were on top of the world, the next you were drowning in doubt. This is where emotional strength comes in. Marcus Aurelius once said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength." And this truth applies to love just as much as it applies to war, politics, or life's struggles. Imagine this, you're sitting with her, maybe at a cafe or just walking through the park. Something small happens, maybe she seems distant. Maybe she sighs, maybe she doesn't laugh at your joke. Instantly, your mind starts racing. Did I do something wrong? Is she losing interest? Does she even care? And in that moment, your emotions betray you. But here's the thing. Women don't test you with words. They test you with storms. Life will throw small emotional waves at you, and she wants to see if you sink, or if you remain steady. Think about your own love story. Has there been a moment when she got upset over something you didn't understand? Maybe she accused you of not caring enough. Maybe she got emotional about something that seemed minor to you. How did you respond? Did you snap back? Did you panic and try to fix everything instantly? Or did you breathe, stay calm, and let her know through your steadiness that everything would be okay? That last option, that's emotional strength. Women secretly crave this more than money, because money can buy comfort. But emotional strength gives them safety. Safety to be herself. Safety to open up. Safety to know that you won't abandon her the moment things get difficult. And here's the raw truth. Most men don't have this strength. They chase her affection. They overreact to her moods. They lose their center when she pulls away. But the man who can stay calm, the man who says with his presence, "I'm not shaken by this storm," becomes unforgettable. Ask yourself, who would she rather build a future with? The man who buys her gifts when he's happy but withdraws when he's stressed? Or the man who remains grounded no matter the season? Your love story, whether past or present, has probably shown you moments like these. And if you reflect on them, you'll see that the times when you were calm, steady, and composed, those were the times she felt most drawn to you. So remember, emotional strength isn't about hiding feelings. It's about mastering them. Because when she sees that you can master your own storms, she'll trust you to weather hers too. And that trust? It's worth far more than money. 2. Purpose and direction. Have you ever been in love with someone who looked at you with admiration in her eyes? Do you remember that feeling? The way she believed in you, the way she saw something great in you, sometimes even before you saw it in yourself. That's the secret of purpose and direction. Women don't fall in love with money. They fall in love with the man who knows where he's going. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "A man's worth is no greater than the worth of his ambitions," and this couldn't be more true in relationships. Think about it. Imagine two versions of yourself. In one version, you're drifting. You wake up without motivation, you complain about life, you talk about dreams but never move toward them. In the other version, you're alive with purpose. Maybe you're building a business. Maybe you're pursuing a craft. Maybe you're simply striving to be a better man each day. You have direction, fire in your eyes, and clarity in your steps. Which version of you do you think she'll fall deeper for? Let's turn this into your love story. Remember when she once asked you, "What do you want to do in the future?" Maybe she asked it casually, maybe in a serious conversation late at night. How did you respond? Did you shrug, unsure, saying, "I don't know, we'll see"? Or did you speak with conviction, with a vision even if it wasn't fully clear, about the path you're walking? Here's the truth. Women don't expect you to have every answer. They don't need you to already be rich or successful. What they long for is the sense that you're moving somewhere, that you're not just surviving, but living with intention. Why? Because when you have direction, you create momentum, and momentum is attractive. It shows her that being by your side means being part of something bigger than just day-to-day routines. It tells her that life with you won't be stagnant, that there's growth, adventure, and meaning ahead. And think about your own relationships. Weren't the happiest moments the ones where you felt you were building something together? Maybe it wasn't about money, but about building a future, a vision, a shared dream. Now here's where many men stumble. They think purpose is about impressing women. But the truth is, your purpose isn't for her, it's for you. A woman doesn't want to be your direction. She wants to join a man who already has one. She wants to walk beside you, not drag you forward. So I'll ask you again, what do you stand for? What drives you when you wake up in the morning? If your love story has been filled with ups and downs, maybe it wasn't about love fading. Maybe it was about you losing sight of your mission. Because when you live with purpose, she feels it. And when she feels it, she admires you in a way no amount of money can ever buy. Be self-control and discipline. Have you ever been in a relationship where you promised her something, but didn't follow through? Maybe it was something small, like saying you'd quit a bad habit, or something big, like chasing a dream you told her about. Do you remember the look in her eyes when she realized you didn't keep that promise? That subtle shift from admiration to doubt. That's where self-control and discipline come in. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "If it is not right, do not do it. If it is not true, do not say it." Those words aren't just about morality. They're about consistency. They're about being the kind of man whose actions line up with his words. Here's the truth. Women notice everything. They notice when you wake up late every day. They notice when you reach for another drink after saying you'd cut back. They notice when you say, "I'll start working out tomorrow," but tomorrow never comes. And every time you let discipline slip, something powerful also slips away, her trust. Now think about your own love story. Have you ever had a moment when she looked at you with pure admiration? Maybe you pushed yourself at work. Maybe you resisted a temptation. Maybe you kept going when everything was against you. Do you remember how proud she was? That sparkle in her eyes wasn't about the result, it was about your discipline. Because here's what most men don't realize. Women secretly love discipline more than gifts. Sure, gifts are nice, but when she sees you mastering yourself, your habits, your time, your desires, that tells her you're a man she can rely on. That's worth more than anything money could buy. Picture this. Two men walk into her life. One has wealth but no control. He overeats, overspends, overreacts, and can't say no to temptation. The other has modest means but shows restraint, builds routines, stays true to his word. Which one do you think she'll truly respect? Discipline is attractive because it signals mastery, and mastery makes her feel safe. If you can't control yourself, how can you lead a relationship, a family, a life? But here's the beautiful part, you don't have to be perfect. Discipline isn't about never failing. It's about showing her and yourself that when you fall, you get back up. That you don't give up on yourself, on your goals, or on the promises you've made. Think back to your love story again. Has there been a moment when she doubted you, but you proved her wrong through action, not words? That moment, my friend, is where admiration turns into lasting love. Because in the end, women may smile at charm. They may enjoy gifts, but what makes them stay is discipline. A man who can master his own desires can master his life. And when she sees that, she knows she's standing beside a man worth following, for wisdom and depth. Have you ever been with someone who said, "You don't understand me"? Think about it. Maybe it was during an argument, or maybe she whispered it when she was upset and vulnerable. Do you remember how that felt? That sting of realizing she wanted you to see her soul, but you were only hearing her words? That's where wisdom and depth come into play. Marcus Aurelius once said, "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts." And women, whether they say it out loud or not, are drawn to the man who thinks deeply, who listens with patience, who reflects before reacting. Now imagine this in your own love story. You're sitting with her, and she's sharing something. Maybe it's about her day. Maybe it's about her fears. Maybe it's about her childhood. Most men would half listen, waiting for their turn to speak, or quickly offer solutions. But you, imagine you actually pause, absorb, and say, "I hear you." That must have felt heavy. Do you see the difference? That's wisdom. That's depth. Because here's the truth. Anyone can memorize facts or throw around opinions. But wisdom is different. Wisdom is knowing when to speak and when to stay silent. It's sensing what lies beneath her words. It's being the calm in the storm, not the fire that adds fuel. Think about the moments in your past. Relationships were the happiest times, really. About expensive gifts and big dates? Or were they those late-night talks, sitting in the car or lying under the stars, when you both shared your dreams, fears, and memories? Those moments of vulnerability. That's where true connection lives. And women crave that more than money. Why? Because wisdom makes them feel understood. Depth makes them feel safe to open up. A woman doesn't just want a man she can kiss. She wants a man she can confide in. Someone who won't laugh at her insecurities. Someone who won't dismiss her emotions. But here's where most men fail. They confuse wisdom with showing off knowledge. They think quoting big ideas or talking endlessly will impress her. It doesn't. True wisdom is quiet. It's humble. It's about presence, not performance. Ask yourself, has there ever been a time in your love story where she opened up about something painful? And instead of rushing to fix it, you just listened? Remember how her body relaxed, how her voice softened, how her eyes looked at you with gratitude? That's when she felt your depth. That's when she knew you weren't just another man. You were someone who could truly hold her heart. Women secretly crave that depth. They may laugh with many, flirt with some, but they will only trust the man who understands their soul. And when you carry that wisdom, when you become the man who listens, who reflects, who guides without control, you become unforgettable. Because money can buy attention, but wisdom and depth win her heart forever. 5. Unshakable confidence. Do you remember the first time you felt butterflies in your stomach around someone you liked? That rush of nerves, the worry of saying the wrong thing, the fear of being judged? We've all been there. Maybe you even replayed the whole interaction later that night, thinking, did I sound stupid? Did I ruin my chance? Now let me flip the question. Have you ever been around someone who just radiated calm assurance? Not cockiness, not arrogance, but a quiet belief that they were enough as they were. How did that energy make you feel? Safe, drawn in, curious? That, my friend, is the power of unshakable confidence. Marcus Aurelius once said, "It never ceases to amaze me." We all love ourselves more than other people, but care more about their opinion than our own. Think about that. How often have you let the opinions of others, maybe even the woman you love, define how you see yourself? Confidence isn't about being the loudest man in the room. It isn't about having all the answers. True confidence is quiet. It's walking into a room and not needing to prove a thing. It's knowing your value even if no one else notices. Now let's bring this into your love story. Do you remember a time when she tested you? Maybe she teased you. Maybe she pulled back emotionally. Maybe she questioned your decisions. How did you respond? Did you panic, beg for her reassurance, or feel crushed by her words? Or did you stand firm, smile, and let her know without saying a word, "I'm not shaken. I know who I am"? Women secretly love this more than money because money can be taken away. But confidence cannot. When you carry yourself with unshakable assurance, you give her something priceless, security. She knows you won't collapse the moment things get hard. She knows your value doesn't depend on her mood or approval. Think about it. Has there been a time when you were deeply in love, but you found yourself constantly overthinking? Texting her too much? Worrying if she liked you? Chasing her attention? Did that make her more attracted or did it push her away? Most men don't realize it, but the need for validation kills attraction. Confidence does the opposite. It tells her, I choose you, but I don't need you to complete me. And that's the paradox. When you don't need her approval, that's when she gives it freely. When you don't chase, that's when she follows. So ask yourself, do you believe you are enough right now as you are? Because when you do, she will too. And when she sees that quiet confidence in you, when she feels that you are grounded, secure and steady, she'll be drawn closer than ever. Money may buy her attention, but unshakable confidence? That captures her respect, her trust, and her love. 6. Integrity and character. Have you ever been in love with someone who made you doubt their words? Maybe they promised they'd be there but didn't show up. Maybe they said, I'll change, but nothing ever changed. Do you remember how that felt? That slow erosion of trust. That sinking realization that their words didn't mean much? Now flip that memory. Have you ever been with someone whose word you could depend on? Someone who followed through no matter how small the promise? Think of how safe, how respected, how valued you felt. That's the difference integrity makes. Marcus Aurelius put it simply, if it is not right, do not do it. If it is not true, do not say it. And that, my friend, is the foundation of character. Integrity is not flashy. It won't always get applause. But women secretly value it more than money, because it gives them something money never can: trust. Now picture this in your own love story. Maybe she once asked you something small. Can you call me after work? Or maybe it was something big. Can you be honest about what you're feeling? How did you respond? Did you keep your word even when it was inconvenient? Or did you let it slide thinking it didn't matter? To her it mattered, because every broken promise whispers, you can't rely on me. And every kept promise, no matter how small, says, you are safe with me. Women long for a man they can admire, not just love. A man whose actions match his words. A man who does the right thing even when no one is watching. Why? Because integrity tells her something powerful. If you can be trusted in the little things, you can be trusted in the big things. Think back to your love story. Was there ever a time she looked at you with pride? Maybe it was when you stood up for your values. When you refused to take the easy way out. When you chose honesty even though it risked losing her. That moment, that look in her eyes, that was respect born out of character. And here's what most men don't realize. Women may enjoy charm. They may be entertained by wealth. But what makes them stay is integrity. Money can fade, looks can fade, but a man of character, he grows more attractive with time. So ask yourself, are you the man whose word carries weight? The man who doesn't need to swear or prove himself, because his actions have already spoken. That's the man she'll cherish. That's the man she'll defend. That's the man she'll love without hesitation. Because in the end, integrity is the anchor of love. Without it, everything drifts. With it, everything lasts. Money might catch her eye, but integrity and character capture her soul. And when you have that, my friend, you'll have something far more valuable than wealth. You'll have her unwavering trust and love, wrapping it all together. So let's bring this home. Women may be impressed by money, but what they secretly crave, what they love more deeply, are these 6 things.